Chapter 4038. At this moment Wang Xian did not look too good. However, Lu Lan and the Creation Realm Divine Essence cultivators from the Silence Forbidden Land looked even more panic-stricken than before. Now they were even more alarmed. Especially after they heard the Qilin Bull's words. Their eyes were wide open, filled with disbelief and shock. In the Sword and Magic universe, if a divine origin creation level expert were to be born, it would be a blessing for the entire universe. It was the greatest fortune of the entire universe. But now, in the 9th level of the magical beast abyss, there was actually a creature that had broken through to the heavenly origin creation realm. Especially after hearing about the Aga heavenly demon god mentioned by the Qilin Bull. Their expressions were extremely panicked. In the last cataclysm, it was Aya heavenly demon god who led his army to invade the Sword and Magic universe. A group of clans in the Void universe was also trying to fish in troubled waters. At that time, their Sword and Magic universe only had one divine origin creation level expert. That expert was an elder from the austere Forbidden Land. At that time he had fought against Aya heavenly fiend celestial alone, and he was the only one who could block him. He couldn't care less about the rest of the invaders. This allowed their army to invade the center of the Sword and Magic universe. It caused the entire Sword and Magic universe to suffer incomparably tragic losses. Later on, Lu Lan's breakthrough alleviated the crisis of the Sword and Magic universe. Only then did they manage to drive Aya heavenly demon god away. Although they had severed the limbs of Aga sky demon god in that battle, they had also suffered varying degrees of damage during the battle. This was especially true for Lu Lan. After the cataclysm ended, it took her more than 10 billion years to fully recover from her injuries. They were both at the divine origin realm, but their battle was extremely terrifying. This was especially true for a veteran heavenly primordial creation like the Aga heavenly demon god. Even after Lu Lan had broken through and joined forces with the creation of heavenly primordial essence of the Forbidden Land, they still couldn't kill it completely. In that battle, countless lives were lost. In that battle there were countless casualties. There were only tens of millions of creatures left in the Sword and Magic universe. One had to know that there were trillions of living beings in a universe. This was the terror of the Cataclysm War. This was the disaster that Aya heavenly demon god had brought to their universe. Now they couldn't understand why Aya sky demon god would appear in their Sword and Magic universe. Why would the Aga sky fiend celestial break through to the heavenly essence creation realm? What was going on? Aga sky devil god. You said he's Aga sky devil god? But how can you be sure that the one who broke through is Aga sky devil god? Lu Lan's body trembled as she looked at Wang Xian and couldn't help but ask. That's because the Qilin ox was born from the limbs of the Aga heavenly devil god. Not long ago I ran into him. Wang Xian looked at her and replied plainly. Boss, that Aya heavenly fiend god broke through without devouring me. The Qilin Bull's expression turned ugly. Once the Aga sky demon god broke through, he would never be able to step into the Tianyuan creation realm in the future. Because the road ahead of him was blocked. If Aya heavenly demon god didn't die, he could forget about breaking through. There's no other way. Wang Xian shook his head and looked at Lu Lan and Tianyuan of the thoughtful Forbidden Land. He said coldly, things are going to get interesting. If you guys can't come to an agreement with this Aya sky demon god, I'm afraid at least half of the living beings in the sword and sorcery universe will perish. He laughed coldly as his mind raced. He looked at the great elder and the rest of the flowing water Forbidden Land and continued, when the time comes, Aya sky demon god might not be the only one making a move. Lu Lan and the Tianyuan creation realm experts from the thoughtful Forbidden Land were shocked when they heard Wang Xian. Haha Lu Lan Wang Tian, I can sense your auras. Old friend, haha old friend, I can sense your auras. If it weren't for you guys in the previous Cataclysm War, I wouldn't have fallen. Fortunately, I made some arrangements. Haha, this time, I'm going to turn your sword and sorcery universe into a bloodbath. At this moment, the violent and cruel voice continued to ring from the 9th level of the Devil Beast Abyss. Boom. Following which, a horrifying figure flew out from below. The figure was covered with blood-red wings. His entire body was covered with spikes. On his head, there were more than a dozen blood-red eyes. Each eye was half a meter in size. What was even more horrifying was that there was a hideous face in each eye. His entire body was like a terrifying demon from the abyss. He came out from the 9th level of the Devil Beast Abyss, his blood-red eyes fixed on Lu Lan and the Tianyuan creation realm experts from the thoughtful Forbidden Land. Wang Tian. The faces in each of their eyes were filled with ferocity and excitement. He was back. If not for the injuries from the previous Cataclysm War, he wouldn't have died. He was going to make the sword and sorcery universe pay a terrible price. He was going to turn the sword and sorcery universe into a bloodbath. Sky, it's really you? When Wu Wangtian saw Aga Sky Devil God flying out, his body trembled. His eyes were bloodshot as he roared. Sky Demon God. It's him. In the previous cataclysm, the Sky Demon God who killed countless living beings in their sword and sorcery universe. Lu Lan stared at him, her expression changing drastically. They had yet to settle Wang Xian's matter. In the end. Then Sky Demon God suddenly appeared, a mortal enemy. Could it be that the heavens wanted to annihilate their sword and sorcery universe? Lu Lan Wangtian, did you not expect this? Haha, over the past hundreds of millions of years, I let countless magical beasts train with you, just to buy time for me to break through. I still succeeded. You guys are still as stupid as ever. As Sky Demon God spoke, he extended his blood-red tongue, which was hundreds of meters long, and licked the bone spikes on his arm. His dozen or so eyes turned even redder. It's been a long time since I've drunk blood to my heart's content. As he spoke, his wings flapped slightly. Just like a terrifying demon that could destroy the world. Lu Lan's and Wu Wangtian's expressions changed drastically when they heard his words. In the flowing water forbidden land, all those who broke the rules participated in the killing of Long Yinhao, and were involved in this matter. Kill yourselves to atone for your sins. Lu Lan turned around and looked coldly at all the experts and disciples of the flowing water forbidden land. Her voice was filled with murderous intent. Wang Xian didn't have much enmity with them. It could even be said that they could resolve it. The reason why she didn't agree just now was because Wang Xian was too domineering. He had come to their sword and sorcery universe, meddled in their affairs, and even wanted to kill their experts. Naturally, she wouldn't agree so easily. But now she had no other choice. Now, it was no longer about crippling the master of the flowing water forbidden land, the great elder, and the rest. Instead, it was about killing them. Chapter 4039. Decided. At this moment, Lu Lan knew what to do. The sudden appearance of Aya Heavenly Demon God forced them to alleviate the situation on Wang Xian's side. Otherwise, what if Wang Xian intervened when they were fighting Aya Heavenly Demon God? Then their entire sword and magic universe would really be destroyed. So at this time she directly ordered everyone involved in this matter to commit suicide. What? My lord. Down below, the great elder of the flowing water forbidden zone and the others trembled violently when he heard those words. Their faces were filled with despair and fear. He shouted at Lu Lan with a face full of panic. His face was full of pleading. Their hearts were filled with terror. Don't make me say it a second time. I established the flowing water forbidden zone to protect the entire universe. If the sword and magic universe suffers heavy losses because of you, then there's no need for the flowing water forbidden zone to exist. Lu Lan gritted her teeth. This matter was originally the fault of their flowing water forbidden zone's powerhouses. At this time, if the entire sword and magic universe were to face the crisis of destruction because of some of the higher-ups and powerhouses of the flowing water forbidden land, the entire flowing water forbidden zone was a sinner. Then what was the point of her establishing the flowing water forbidden zone? Lu Lan's expression was incomparably cold as she swept her gaze over all the experts and disciples of the flowing water forbidden land. What? How could this be? How could this be? At the side, Lu Shui and Hao-Yan were completely stunned. He looked at this scene in disbelief. He couldn't believe his own ending. He had never thought that just because he had brought people to attack Long Yinhao, he would be killed. The entire spatial forbidden land would be destroyed, and his grandfather, the master of the flowing water forbidden land, would face death. This was something he had never imagined. This shocked him. He was terrified. Sir, we are sinners, we are sinners. When the second elder of the flowing water forbidden zone heard Lu Lan's words, his face was filled with bitterness. He slapped his body with his palm, and his vitality quickly dissipated. Second elder. In the surrounding area, the powerhouses of the flowing water forbidden land shouted in a low voice. The second elder of the flowing water forbidden land had committed suicide. Everyone was shocked when they saw this. However, everything that happened today was too shocking for them. Wang Xian's terrifying strength. The sudden appearance of the Aga Heavenly Demon God. Especially the Aya Heavenly Demon God, who was the mortal enemy of the sword and magic universe. Next, their sword and magic universe would probably welcome a disaster. Now, the death of the flowing water forbidden land's second elder was somewhat insignificant. You can bully others if you're strong, but once someone has a stronger background, then you'll be the one to die. It's very fair. said a pinnacle universe ruler from the obscene forbidden land. If you are strong, you can kill people without taking responsibility. However, if others were strong and dared to kill, the price they would have to pay would be extremely heavy. This was something that everyone understood. The death of the Flowing Water Forbidden Zone's second elder was an order from the Heaven Origin Creation Realm experts, and they had no choice but to do so, because his opponent was very strong. Jie Wu Wang Tian Lu Lan, my revenge is about to begin. At this moment, a heavenly demon god roared fearlessly in front of him. He flapped his wings and a series of berserk bone spurs floated behind him. They attacked them indiscriminately. Attacked directly. The August Sky Fiend Celestial did not hesitate in the slightest. He attacked with a killing move. Alone he was naturally not a match for Wu Wang Tian and Lu Lan. However, his goal was not to kill Wu Wang Tian and Lu Lan. Instead, he wanted to kill the experts and living beings of the Sword and Magic universe. He wanted the Sword and Magic universe to be plunged into misery and suffering, and blood to flow like rivers. He was also confident that the chances of Lu Lan and Wu Wang Tian stopping or killing him were very, very small. At the Heaven Origin Creation Realm, if two people wanted to kill one, they would only be able to suppress one in terms of strength. Otherwise, it would be too difficult to kill a Heaven Origin Creation Realm expert. Damn it, Tian, I'm going to kill you once and for all this time. Wu Wang Tian's eyes turned bloodshot when he saw the August Sky Fiend Celestial's attack. He raised the golden battle axe in his hand and slashed at him. Golden light enveloped the entire area. It slashed directly at the August Sky Fiend Celestial. Lu Lan's expression changed slightly when she saw this. He waved his hand and a staff appeared in his hand. Buzz. He waved the staff forward and a water screen enveloped everyone. All the experts and disciples in the surroundings felt the pressure lessen. They panted heavily. In a battle of this level, even the slightest shockwave would kill them instantly. The battle of the Heaven Origin Creation Realm was too terrifying. Dragon King, I hope we can forget about this. To express our apologies, I'll give you the Heaven Origin Creation Realm fragment, a part of the Book of Water Forbidden Spells after this battle. Lu Lan looked at Wang Xian. With a wave of her arm, a Book of Water Forbidden Spells appeared in front of her. I'm a man of my word, she said to Wang Xian with a serious face. Alright, as long as you can give me a satisfactory answer, I won't make a move. Wang Xian replied. His gaze was fixed on the position in front of him. The Heaven Origin Creation Realm of Innocence Forbidden Land, Wu Wang Tian, slashed at the August Sky Fiend Celestial. However, the August Sky Fiend Celestial didn't face it head-on. Instead he kept dodging. He kept releasing long-range attacks. Streaks of energy raged towards them. If not for Lu Lan's defense, this place would have been in ruins. Among everyone here, only the Ninth Order Universe Sovereigns and Pinnacle Sovereigns could survive. Wu Wang Tian's strength was terrifying. The golden battle axe slashed forward, and the golden radiance split the void, forming a horrifying galaxy river. August Sky, if you have the guts, let's face it head-on. Seeing the August Sky Fiend Celestial dodging, Wu Wang Tian roared with cold eyes. GGG Wu Wang Tian, do you think I'm as stupid as you? From now on, Ajation, will become the nightmare of your Sword and Magic universe. I will constantly attack, kill, and consume the flesh and blood of your Sword and Magic universe's beings. Next I'll let your Sword and Magic universe perish. He roared with a menacing expression and laughed maniacally. There was no chance for him to face Wu Wang Tian head-on. He wouldn't allow Lu Lan and Wu Wang Tian to completely surround him. When Wu Wang Tian and Lu Lan heard his words, their bodies trembled violently. Their faces were exceptionally grim and embarrassed. Even their breathing was a little hurried. Both of them were confident that they could suppress the August Sky Fiend Celestial, but they weren't confident that they could kill him. Once he continued to flee and wreak havoc in their universe, there was nothing they could do. Chapter 40:40, Lu Lan, let's keep him here. We can't let him escape. Wu Wang Tian stared at August Sky Demon God with an ugly expression. He transmitted his voice to Lu Lan. We can't let August Sky Demon God leave the Devil's Abyss. Otherwise, once he leaves, the entire sword and sorcery universe won't be able to withstand his torment. He can simply fly to a city, a magic nation, and destroy it with a wave of his arm. The Devil's Abyss is still manageable. There are no humans here. We have to trap him here. Alright, all disciples, leave the Devil's Abyss immediately. Lu Lan roared and moved. She raised the staff in her hand and attacked Sky Demon God. Trying to trap me here? Then I'll play with you guys here. When the Aya Heavenly Devil God saw Lu Lan attacking him, he laughed maniacally. Let me see if your strength has improved over the years. He roared maniacally. Below them, roars of magical beasts could be heard coming from the 9th level of the Devil's Abyss. The magical beasts stared at the experts from the various sacred grounds and sacred college. Their blood-red eyes attacked them directly. Those magical beasts exuded a terrifying aura. There were only slightly over 1,000 magical beasts, but their strength was no lower than the 8th Order Universe Lord Realm. There were a total of 20 to 30 Pinnacle Universe Lord Realm Lords. Hee, come on, come on. Aga Sky Demon God laughed maniacally and roared loudly. He swept a cold glance at Qilin Bull. Qilin Bull, you'd better listen to my orders now and kill all these humans. Otherwise I'll devour you completely. Aga Sky Demon God charged towards Wu Wangtian and Lu Lan, the 2 Sky Yuan Creation Realm experts. Just now, when he was breaking through, he didn't sense Wang Xian's strength. He didn't sense what was happening here. Now that his strength had broken through, he didn't care about Qilin Bull anymore. If he wanted to kill Qilin Bull, it would be a piece of cake. Therefore, with a warning, he attacked the 2 divine creations of the Sword Universe and the Magic Universe. Only Wu Wangtian and Lu Lan were worthy of his attention. Leave this place. Wu Wangtian roared and charged at Aya Heavenly Demon God again. As for the magical beasts, they did not have the time to attack at all. If they attacked the demonic beasts, they were worried that the Aya Heavenly Fiend God would leave. Once he left this place, he would be in deep trouble. Wu Wangtian and Lu Lan rushed towards Aga Heavenly Devil God. They flew into the sky and engaged in a great battle. His every move emitted a power that could destroy heaven and earth. Below, a group of demonic beasts rushed over. Run quickly. When the experts and disciples of the Innocence Forbidden Land and the Flowing Water Forbidden Land saw the thousands of demonic beasts, their expressions changed drastically, and they roared at the same time. The strength of these thousands of magical beasts was not something they could withstand. On their side, there were only a dozen peak universe ruler existences. Among the demonic beasts, there were 20 to 30 peak universe ruler realm beasts. The gap was too big. Stop them. Eat them. Don't let them escape. However, a scene that shocked them appeared. The thousands of demonic beasts suddenly roared. They launched terrifying long-range attacks at the same time. They wanted to stop them from escaping. On the 8th level of the magical beast abyss, the teleportation array was not complete yet. There were only 5 teleportation arrays. However, there were millions of experts and disciples around. These 5 teleportation arrays were not enough. They could only fly to the 7th level where there were many teleportation arrays. However, this group of demonic beasts clearly did not want them to leave. They wanted to annihilate them. This group of demonic beasts, how can they speak the human language? They have powerful intelligence. They actually have intelligence. It's not good, they want to keep us here. They have a lot more experts than us. Let's run. Block their attacks first. Otherwise, a large number of experts will be killed. Quick, block them. Shocked and angry voices came from the mouths of the peak universe rulers. These thousands of demonic beasts suddenly had intelligence. This shocked them to the core. Having intelligence and not having it were 2 completely different levels. Seeing the attacks of the demonic beasts, they could only block them. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Over 1 million universe ruler realm powerhouses launched their attacks against the thousands of demonic beasts. If Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian can't get rid of this Aga Sky demonic god, the disaster of the sword and sorcery universe is coming. Wang Xian hovered there, watching the battle in the sky. His eyes swept across the position below. He spoke. Just like at the beginning, the reason why Wang Xian dared not to show any respect to the 2 Sky Yuan Creation Realm experts was because he knew that the 2 Sky Yuan Creation Realm experts would not dare to fall out with him here. Because if they were to engage in a battle, they would not be able to keep Wang Xian here for good. This would be a disaster for the sword and sorcery universe. The destructive power of a Heaven Essence Creation Realm expert was extremely terrifying. Now, this Aga Sky demonic god clearly thought that he would not be suppressed by Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian. He was confident that he could escape, which was why he dared to be so brazen. And if Wu Wangtian and Lu Lan did not have a trump card to keep him here, then the sword and sorcery universe would be plunged into an abyss of misery. It would be extremely tragic. Big brother Wang Xian, can you? At the side, Long Yining saw the sudden outbreak of the battle and the appearance of a Sky Yuan Creation Realm enemy. His face was extremely pale. He looked at Wang Xian and opened his mouth, hoping to seek his help. Wang Xian, can you help us? Not far away, the barbarian saint stared at the group of demonic beasts with bloodshot eyes. He clenched his fists tightly and looked at Wang Xian. He could not help but shout. Long Yinhao and Liu Saintis also looked at him. Among them, some universe ruler realm experts of the Dragon Roar Forbidden Ground also looked at Wang Xian. They knew that in this situation, if Wang Xian was willing to help, then it would be greatly alleviated. Otherwise, just the million universe ruler realm experts alone might die in the hands of this group of demonic beasts. As for August Sky demonic god, they could not estimate. Wang Xian saw their gazes and looked at the battle above. His eyes flickered slightly. Lulan Wangtian, I'll help you destroy this August Sky demonic god. I want his corpse. Wang Xian felt their battle power and destructive power and made a decision. Chapter 40-41, Lulan Wangtian, I'll help you kill Aya Sky demon god. I want his corpse. Wang Xian's voice reverberated across the abyss of devilish beasts. Alright, we guarantee with our lives and all the living beings in the sword and sorcery universe that if you help us kill Aya Sky demon god, you will be the benefactor of our sword and sorcery universe. Aya Sky's corpse and everything else belong to you, Dragon King. The moment Wang Xian finished his sentence, Wang Xian did not hesitate to praise the passageway at Wangtian's side. Without hesitation. Without any hesitation. Given the current situation, if Wang Xian was willing to help them, the crisis of their sword and sorcery universe could be easily resolved. It was difficult to kill a heavenly yuan creation level expert. They knew this. However, during the last cataclysm they had a life and death battle. Both he and Lu Lan had chopped off Aya Sky demon god's limbs. Although they did not manage to keep him. But they had severely injured him. At that time, if their sword and sorcery universe had another heavenly yuan creation level expert, then they would have 100% confidence in killing Aya Sky demon god. Because the current Aya Sky demon god was a little weaker during the cataclysm. What Wangtian said is also what Lu Lan said. Dragon King, I have ties with the water divine dragon. Thank you for your help. As Wangtian finished his sentence, Lu Lan also expressed her gratitude loudly. A blazing luster blossomed in their eyes. If they could kill Aya Sky demon god, it would be a great blessing for their sword and sorcery universe. This meant they would have one less terrifying enemy when the cataclysm arrived. An enemy at the heavenly yuan creation level. As for Wang Xian's request, it was nothing. In fact, if Wang Xian wanted them to offer enough treasures in exchange for his help, they would also agree. Not to mention that he was willing to help them kill Aya Sky demon god. Alright. Upon hearing their words, Wang Xian smiled and looked at Qilin Bull. Thank you, boss. Qilin Bull knelt in the void and bowed to Wang Xian with excitement. He knew that Wang Xian wanted to eliminate Aya Heavenly Devil God for the sake of his own advancement. If he could really kill the Aya Heavenly Demon God, he would definitely be able to do so. If the Qilin Bull devoured it, the chances of it breaking through would increase to over 95%. It was such a terrifying probability, because the Aya Heavenly Fiend God was now a heavenly primordial creation. No need. Wang Xian shook his head as he stared ahead. At this moment, Aya Demogorgon's face was filled with astonishment when he heard Wu Wang and Liulan's words. What was going on? Did Lulan Wu Wang and the others have a heavenly origin creation level helper? Dragon King? He tried to sense it with his mind, but he couldn't sense any existence at the level of heavenly yuan creation. The only suspicious thing was the figure of the youth who made the Qilin Bull kneel down. He was clearly not a heavenly primordial creation. The Heavenly Yuan Fortune Art's reaction to the Heavenly Yuan Fortune Art was very accurate. According to his senses, Wang Xian was not a creation of Heavenly Yuan at all. However, at this instant Wang Xian's physique changed. His void divine dragon body remained where it was. His true form had transformed into an incomparably terrifying divine dragon. 9-colored radiance shrouded him as the horrifying dragon aura swept across the area. His entire body was millions of kilometers long, comparable to the size of a giant star beast. Every single dragon scale shone with a bright luster. On the pair of dragon horns there was a dim glow. In the center there was even a slightly illusory dragon wing. The dragon wing's 9-colored radiance swirled, mainly with wind and thunder attributes. The moment Wang Xian transformed into a divine dragon. The moment he let out a roar. In front of him, there was a group of magical beasts charging towards him. Thousands of magical beasts, with 20 to 30 pinnacle sovereign realm magical beasts. They fell from the sky, shivering and sprawled on the ground. 9 Origins Dragon Realm. Wang Xian roared. Without any hesitation he cast the Dragon Realm. 9 divine dragons flew out from his body. In an instant, they shrouded the entire area. They turned into 9 colored radiance. Other than that, the star space lock shone brightly, and stars appeared out of nowhere around him. Each and every one of them contained a terrifying amount of energy. He swayed his humongous body and flew forward. What? You're clearly not at the creation realm. How can you have such terrifying power? Damn it. You're not a living being from the sword and sorcery universe. You're from the divine dragon race of the 9 origins universe. You're from the divine dragon race. As a veteran creation realm expert, August Sky Demon God had seen a lot. He recognized that Wang Xian was from the 9 origins universe, the divine dragon race. His eyes widened as he roared in disbelief. He clearly sensed that Wang Xian was not from the creation realm. To existences at the creation realm like them, those below the creation realm were just pawns. They were just ants. They had an endless lifespan and the ability to destroy the heavens and earth. Those below the creation realm were nothing in their eyes, no matter what realm they were at. However, how could this divine dragon possess such terrifying strength? 9 attributes? A complete fusion of the 9 attributes. August Sky Demon God's exclamation rang out again. 9 attributes. He sensed that Wang Xian possessed 9 attributes. 9 attributes, coupled with the top-notch constitution in the universe. He found it unbelievable. The more attributes one had, the harder it was to cultivate. And the harder it was to break through. In the later stages, a breakthrough in the 9 attributes from the 6th to 7th order universe sovereigns would be comparable to other experts breaking through to the creation realm. Secondly, it did not mean that everyone could cultivate all 9 elements. The more attributes one had, the easier it was to lose control and explode. Their bodies would explode. Therefore, even though the Aya Sky Demon God was experienced and knowledgeable, this was the first time he had seen an expert with 9 attributes at such a level. Not to mention 9 attributes, he had rarely seen anyone with 5 attributes. Moreover, peak sovereign realm experts with 5 different attributes could only exchange blows with Tian Yuanjia, and they were barely able to resist him. 9 attributes was even crazier. This was the first time he saw it. Leave him here and kill him. Wang Xian stared at August Sky Demon God. The planets in the surrounding stellar domain fragments revolved and surrounded him as he roared. As long as you help, Dragon King I Wu Wangtian, we'll definitely chop off August Sky's head today. Wu Wangtian let out a wild roar, his face filled with rage. Chapter 4042. The Sword and Sorcery Universe and August Sky Demon God had a blood feud. If there was a chance, Wu Wangtian and Lu Lan would want to destroy August Sky Demon God completely, even if it meant that both sides would be severely injured. In the previous cataclysm, August Sky Demon God led his army and slaughtered too many living beings of the Sword and Sorcery Universe, including their loved ones. Now that Wu Wangtian saw a chance to destroy August Sky Demon God, he went berserk instantly. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head and replied loudly, surround them. With our strength we can annihilate them completely. Damn it. August Sky Demon God felt Wang Xian's aura and terrifying strength, and his expression changed drastically. August Sky Demon God was well aware of the strength of Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian. In previous battles, even if they fought with their lives on the line, they could only severely injure him. It was impossible to destroy him. This was also the reason why he dared to be so unscrupulous. But now, he was shocked by the sudden appearance of a heavenly Yuan or creation realm expert. An additional heavenly primordial fortune level combat power was more than enough to completely annihilate him. He flapped his incomparably huge wings, and without the slightest hesitation, he instantly fled towards the back. The violent energy left a trail of horrifying marks. August Sky, don't you dare escape today. Lu Lan's eyes were cold and bloodshot as she roared furiously. She waved the magic staff in her hand and the book of water forbidden spells floated above her head. Immediately, a horrifying water dragon was released. The water dragon entangled August Sky Demon God. When Wang Xian saw Lu Lan's attack, he was shocked. He turned to August Sky Demon God and locked onto him. Trying to escape? Dream on. He moved his dragon claw and the star field fragment turned into a star that floated above his dragon claw. Waves of majestic energy surged into the star field fragment. Buzz buzz buzz. Buzz buzz buzz. At this moment, thousands of stars in the surroundings shone with horrifying brilliance at the same time. These stars carried all kinds of energy as they attacked Aya Sky Fiend Celestial. Countless stars rushed out. It was a very terrifying and spectacular sight. Is this the true strength of Big Brother Wang Xian? Below, the group of magical beasts no longer dared to move after Wang Xian made his move. Long Yinhao watched as Wang Xian transformed into a horrifying million-kilometer-long divine dragon. Seeing the terrifying stars in the surrounding starry sky charging over, his face was filled with shock. This scene was simply too shocking. At least visually, Wang Xian's attack was much more shocking than Wu Wangtian and Lu Lan's. No wonder Big Brother Wang Xian would seek an explanation for my matter. Big Brother Wang Xian's strength is too heaven-defying. Long Yinhao continued in shock as he looked at Wang Xian's void divine dragon body. Big Brother, you really hit it well. I also just broke through not long ago, said Wang Xian with a faint smile. This is really unbelievable. Holy Son Wang Xian, you actually came from another universe and are the king of a race from another universe. No wonder this body of yours can cultivate at such a terrifying speed, reaching such a level in just a few 100 million years. Saintess Luiyue looked at Wang Xian and exclaimed in shock. At this moment she was also very excited. The relationship between Long Yinhao and Wang Xian was needless to say. Now the matter between Wang Xian and the sword and sorcery universe had been resolved. In the future, Wang Xian would also be a respected existence in the sword and sorcery universe. With such a backer, Long Yinhao could be said to have reached the sky in a single bound. Such a reliable relationship was even stronger than the relationship between the master of the flowing water forbidden land and Lu Lan. In the future, Long Yinhao would be the existence with the strongest background in the entire sword and sorcery universe. Naturally, she could also bask in the glory and was very happy. Around them, the barbarian saint, who knew Wang Xian, had his mouth agape as he looked at this scene in disbelief. Who would have expected Holy Son Wang Xian to be the king of a race from the nine-source universe? Is this a divine dragon? It's really terrifying. Yeah, Lord Lu Lan said that her breakthrough was due to the guidance of Lord Tian Yuan Zhao of the divine dragon race. The divine dragon race is really terrifying. Just this incomparably terrifying physique and this terrifying pressure are enough to make one's soul tremble. It's really amazing. Isn't the dragon roar forbidden land going to ascend to the heavens in a single step? Long Yinin and Long Yinhao were the siblings who rose to the top in a single bound. In the past, this holy son Wang Xian took great care of them. This time he even dared to go against us two Sky Yuan fate realms for Long Yinhao. Now that everything has been resolved, who would dare to provoke them? In the surroundings, all the experts and disciples from the sacred grounds and the sacred institute were discussing. They looked at the body of Wang Xian's void divine dragon and the horrifying divine dragon in the sky. Their eyes were filled with deep respect. Such a figure was truly invincible. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. At this moment, in front of them, one by one the stars shot towards Aga heavenly demon god. Now, Wang Xian was able to fight against the creation of Heaven Yuan without using any treasures of the same level with the help of the creation of Heaven Yuan fragment. With the help of the Heaven Yuan fortune fragment, his attack power became even more terrifying. Although Ajatian had lived a second life, his weapons and treasures from before were all gone. Under such circumstances, he had to deal with the attacks of the stars with all his might. Coupled with the attacks from Wu Wangtian and Lu Lan, he was completely suppressed. Even his chances of breaking through and escaping were minuscule. Damn it! Damn it! Damn the Divine Dragon Clan! Divine Dragon Clan, you guys have ruined my plans twice. In the future, I, Ajatian Demon God, will make you pay the price in blood. I'll make you pay a terrible price. Ajatian Demon God saw thousands of horrifying stars attacking him. His expression changed drastically as he roared with murderous intent. Boom! He flapped his wings violently and went berserk instantly. Berserk. His strength increased tremendously in an instant. On its body, countless bone spurs attacked the planets one by one. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. The bone spikes blasted through the stars. But at this moment, the water dragon released by Lu Lan was also attacking him from behind. Breath of the Demon God. Ajatian Demon God looked at the water divine dragon. In his blood-red eyes, a violent torrent was released. The torrent condensed and charged towards the water divine dragon. Boom boom. The violent breath of the demon god collided with the water divine dragon. It had completely blocked the attack. Chapter 40-43, Ajatian. Seeing Ajatian fending off the attacks of Wang Xian and Lu Lan, Wu Wangtian swung his giant axe at him. The universe of swords and sorcery was dominated by swordsmanship. But because of the giant axe in his hand, he gave up on using his previous swordsmanship. This was because the giant axe was also an extremely powerful treasure. It was a weapon that he had found in the chaos. Although Wu Wangtian did not possess the ability to go berserk, he looked extremely furious at this moment. This was a good opportunity for him to take revenge. The giant axe in his hand swung towards a Jaitian demon god. A dazzling golden radiance swung towards a Jaitian demon god. Arg! A Jaitian demon god was fending off the attacks of Wang Xian and Lu Lan. When he saw Wu Wangtian's giant axe attack, his expression changed drastically. He used his wings to block in front of him. He could only use his own defense and his physical body to block it. Now he could only block 2 attacks from Wang Xian, Lu Lan, and Wu Wangtian at most. And this was under his berserk state. This was also the reason why he could fend off 2 existences of the same level. This was also the reason why he dared to be so arrogant just now. As long as he gave it his all, he would be able to block it. If he was really in danger, Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian would not be able to stop him even if he ran for his life. But things were different now. In his berserk state, he had exhausted all the energy he could muster to block the attacks of Wang Xian and Lu Lan. Against Wu Wangtian's attack, he could only use his physical strength to block it. Bam! Wu Wangtian's giant axe landed on the body of a Jaitian demon god, causing cracks to appear on the bones of his wings. His bones started to crumble. His body was sent flying backward and blood flowed from his body. Dragon's Tomb. At this moment Wang Xian dashed over. A humongous dragon's tomb appeared behind a Jaitian demon god out of nowhere. Shadows of divine dragons clawed at his body, intending to drag him into the dragon's tomb and kill him once and for all. A Jaitian roared as the demon god's eyes appeared around him. The demon god's eyes collided with the shadows of divine dragons. Bam bam bam. The sound of a collision could be heard as the dragon tomb slowly split open. Forbidden curse technique, heavenly water, purify everything. Lu Lan let out a low roar as the staff in her hand floated above her. The book of water forbidden spells above his head shone brightly. A dark cloud appeared above Aga's sky fiend celestial, and a stream of water fell on him. This stream of water contained a terrifying destructive power. It was as if it could pierce through everything. Demon God's Claw Tear. A heavenly demon god roared furiously when he saw Lu Lan's attack. He stretched out his demonic claws and grabbed at the dark clouds above him. Rip! The terrifying claws even tore through space. Die die die. Wu Wangtian's furious roar continued to ring out. He flew in front of Aga heavenly fiend celestial again. The giant axe in his hand chopped down once again. He was tired of defending. At this moment, Aga sky demonic god was completely exhausted from defending against the attacks of Wang Xian, Lu Lan, and Wu Wangtian. One terrifying attack after another. Every attack possessed the power to destroy the world. At his full strength he could fend off 1 or 2 of them but not all 3 of them. After all, the attacks of Wang Xian and the rest were no weaker than him. Run run run. I have to run. Seeing Wu Wangtian's attack, Aga sky fiend celestial roared furiously in his heart. Wang wang wang. In an instant tens of thousands of doppelgangers appeared around him. Bam! Wu Wangtian's attack landed on Aga sky fiend celestial once again. This time many of the bones in his body were broken again, and a terrifying axe mark was left on his body. His body was also sent flying backward rapidly. However, the moment he was sent flying, his figure disappeared into the midst of the tens of thousands of doppelgangers. Swish swish swish. These tens of thousands of figures strangely turned into wisps of black smoke and fled in all directions. This one. Seeing Aga sky fiend celestial trying to escape, Wang Xian bellowed. Water forbidden spell, 1000 twist of heavy water. Wang Xian did not hesitate. The book of water forbidden spell floated in front of him and immediately released a water forbidden spell. Streams of water appeared in the sky and below. The streams of water formed a huge pattern, resonating from top to bottom. Following which, countless streams of water entangled a wisp of black smoke. Grr! Damn divine dragon, how did you discover me? Aga sky fiend celestial was locked onto. His face was filled with rage and a tinge of fear. His escape technique was countered by Wang Xian. How did he do it? It won't be that easy to escape. You have just broken through to the creation realm of heavenly Yuan and you're already so arrogant? Wang Xian stared at Aga sky fiend celestial with a cold expression. He had the unbeginning sacred wings and the ability to locate enemies in the void. Now that the 9 attributes were fused, every strike of Wang Xian's contained the power of locating enemies in the void. It was very easy to find out where his real body was. Countless streams of water entangled him and strangled him. Great. Blood boiling explode. Lu Lan's eyes lit up when she saw Wang Xian locking onto Aga sky fiend celestial. She pointed her staff forward. Droplets of water rained down on Aga Sky Fiend Celestial. Scram. When the Aya Sky Demon God saw the continuous attacks, a look of fear appeared on his face. Some of the bones on his wings broke and turned into blood-red blades that attacked in all directions. Indiscriminate attacks. This was a move that dealt a heavy blow to the enemy and a heavy blow to himself. He had started to fight with all his might. He knew that if he did not fight with all his might, he might really be killed today. He had just broken through to the creation realm of Heavenly Yuan today. He had just lived his second life. Was he going to be killed just like that? He could not accept it. However, at this juncture he could only fight with all his might. He could only fight with all his might. He was no match for Wang Xian and the other two. In fact, he was not even qualified to fight back. Arrogant. This time he was the one being arrogant. He had not expected an expert like Wang Xian to appear in the universe of swords and sorcery. Aga Sky, even if I'm severely injured today, Wu Wangtian will kill you. When Wu Wangtian saw this horrifying attack, he didn't feel the slightest bit of fear. He wore a golden armor that covered his entire body. He resisted the attack of Aga Sky Fiend Celestial and slashed at him. He was prepared to exchange injury for injury. Not only Aga Sky Fiend Celestial would fight with all his might. He would too. Chapter 40-44. Roar, roar, roar. When demon god Agia saw Wu Wangtian attacking him with all his might, his face revealed a trace of anger and fear as he roared. There was a tinge of panic on his face. Now that his method of escape had been seen through by Wang Xian, Wu Wangtian was fearless. Even if he had to suffer injuries, he had to inflict serious damage on him. With Lu Lan and Wang Xian around, he was powerless to resist. I have to escape. I have to escape. Agia Sky Demon God roared in his heart. I have to escape. I have to escape at all costs. Otherwise I might really be finished. I might really die here. It was hard for Creation Realm experts to die. But if I don't escape today, I will definitely die. This was because Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian would not give up as long as they had a chance to kill him, even if they were severely injured. Bam bam bam. Agia Sky Demon God gritted his teeth. Looking at the huge axe that was charging at him, he wrapped his wings around himself and forcefully defended himself. The horrifying huge axe landed on his wings. This time, a large piece of bone on his right wing was sliced off. His entire right wing was completely chopped off. His body flew backwards in an instant. Heaven Ascension Tian Qian. Agia Sky Demon God felt the excruciating pain coming from his wings. His eyes were bloodshot when he witnessed this scene. Blood began to drip. In the next instant, his body began to disintegrate into countless bone fragments. Countless blood-red bone shards flew in all directions. Some of the bone fragments even tore through the void, creating a black hole in front of them. Heaven Ascension Tian Qian. This was another method of escape for Agia Sky Demon God. As a veteran heavenly origin creation, he had many escape methods. And this method required him to sacrifice his own blood and energy. He would need at least a few billion years to recover from such exhaustion. He's still trying to escape. Lu Lan's eyes narrowed when she saw this. In the dark clouds above, water droplets fell towards the blood-red bone fragments. It was as though they were going to drip into them and lock onto them. He can't escape. Wang Xian revealed a cold expression. With the help of the unbeginning sacred wings, he could sense the exact location of Aya Heavenly Demon God. This time, his mental power wasn't limited to a single bone fragment. Instead, it was on more than 10 bone fragments. If any of the bone fragments escaped, he would be able to escape completely. Heavenly Dragon 9 Shadows. Wang Xian let out a deep roar. With a slight shake of his body, shadows of divine dragons appeared around him. 9 dragon shadows charged towards the 9 bone fragments. At the same time, he waved his arm, and the Book of Forbidden Water Spells fell into his hand. Wang Xian flipped to the 8th page of the Book of Forbidden Spells and a surge of energy gushed into it. Buzz. The image of a goddess appeared on the 8th page of the Book of Water Forbidden Spells. The goddess had 18 arms, and they immediately attacked the other 7 bone shards. His speed was terrifying. Damn it, how can he still lock onto me? How is this possible? How is this possible? At this moment, Agatha Heavenly Demonic God was horrified to see Wang Xian's attack locking onto him. So be it if it was the first time he was locked on. Now it was locked on the second time as well. How could this be possible? Attack the bone shards that I'm attacking. Wang Xian shouted as he launched his attack. Great. Wu Wangtian and Lu Lan's eyes lit up. I've locked onto 5 of them and they are all locked onto by you, Dragon King. It seems like you have a special way to lock onto your enemies. Lu Lan shouted at Wang Xian loudly with excitement written all over her face. Sure, it's hard for him to break free from my lock. Wang Xian replied. Great divine axe Kaiyuan. Wu Wangtian roared. He raised the giant axe in his hand, and waves of daunting energy shrouded the front. He slashed forward, and golden axes appeared one after another, attacking the 17 bone shards. Divine Dragon Clan, all of you deserve to die. All of you deserve to die. Agatha, heavenly demonic god, was infuriated to see himself being locked on. He gathered all the bone shards together again. Ignoring the attacks from Wang Xian and Wu Wangtian, he fled far away. The mountain is water, the sky is water, the earth is water, everything is water. Lu Lan stood at the back, raised the staff in her hand and murmured. Along with her words, a mountain of water appeared. The sky turned into water. The ground also turned into water. The entire world seemed to have undergone a huge change. This move of his took a full second to chant and cast. For a Sky Yuan creation level expert, this was enough to counter thousands of attacks in a second. Moreover, this attack that required a second to chant was naturally terrifying. No. I can't accept this. Agatha, heavenly demonic god, felt the attack coming from behind him and bellowed in frustration. He couldn't accept this. He couldn't accept this. He couldn't accept this. He had just lived his second life. Our Sky Yuan creation level experts have completely suppressed that demonic god. They might even be able to kill him. With the addition of the Dragon King, that demonic god won't dare to be arrogant anymore. He might even be killed by the 3 of you. That's great, that's great. From the history of our sleepless forbidden land, I can see that during the last cultivation calamity, he killed at least 100 billion of our comrades in our sword and sorcery universe, or even more. During the last cultivation calamity, this Agatha, heavenly demonic god, led his subordinates and attacked the center of our universe. The entire abyss of devil beasts was formed in that great battle. Countless living beings in our universe were killed by him. Now we can finally take revenge. A battle between Sky Yuan creation level experts is so terrifying. The 3 of you are already far away from us, but it's still so terrifying. That Dragon King from the 9-source universe is so strong. He's not even at the Sky Yuan creation level, but he's already so strong. He has 9 attributes, and in addition to his space attribute body, he has a total of 10 attributes. That's terrifying. What level of talent is that? Yeah, cultivating all 10 attributes. That's really terrifying and heaven-defying. I'm afraid he's an exceptionally rare existence even in all the universes. At the same time, all the experts and disciples at the back saw this scene and their faces were filled with shock and excitement. Now, that demonic god was completely suppressed. He might even be annihilated. Many experts knew that Agatha, heavenly demonic god, was the greatest enemy of their universe. If they could annihilate him, it would be a blessing for their universe. At this moment, everyone looked at Wang Xian with even more respect and fear. This Dragon King was too heaven-defying. Chapter 40-45. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The battle was still going on. Terrifying energy reverberated across the area. Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian were in a killing frenzy. They only had Aegis Sky Demon God in their sights. All of their energies were locked onto him. This made things easier for Wang Xian. All he had to do was to attack normally. The hatred between Aegis Sky Demon God and the sword and sorcery universe was beyond Wang Xian's imagination. Lu Lan, Wu Wangtian, you want me dead? Even if I die, I'll make you pay a terrible price. I'll make the sword and sorcery universe pay the price. Aegis Sky Demon God's injuries were increasing. The despair in his eyes was increasing. There was one more Sky Yuan creation realm existence. This was just his only body. He had just broken through to the Sky Yuan creation realm. He didn't even have the treasure to revive him. Once he died, he would be truly dead. It was a complete and utter death. Now, because of Wang Xian, he was completely locked on to during his 2 attempts at escaping. He knew that Wang Xian had a terrifying ability to lock onto him. Given the hatred between Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian, there was a high possibility that he would die here today. He could die, but he would make the sword and sorcery universe pay the price. Today, I, Wu Wangtian, will chop off your head as a tribute to the lives of the sword and sorcery universe that have perished. Wu Wangtian raised his battle axe and roared. His entire body was expanding rapidly until he was 1,000 meters tall. Boom. Wu Wangtian charged out and engaged in close combat with Aegis Sky Demon God. Lu Lan waved the magic staff in his hand. Energy shrouded the surroundings to prevent Aegea Sky Demon God from escaping. At the same time, he injected streams of water into Wang Tian's body to strengthen his defense and recovery ability. Roar roar. Wang Xian raised his head. The star field fragment was suspended above him. Stars were revolving above him. One by one the stars attacked Aegea Sky Demon God. The terrifying energy blotted out the sky and covered the sun. Aegea Sky Demon God was in a terrible state. He flapped his wings and dodged with all his might. Now he could no longer put up any resistance. He couldn't defend against the joint attack of Wang Xian and the other two. Arg! However, no matter how hard he tried to resist, facing the attack of Wang Xian and the rest, they still couldn't avoid it. As he dodged Heavenless attack, his body was struck by a star. He let out a wild roar and let out a blood-curdling scream. Sky Demon Disintegration. He roared again, his eyes filled with a crazed look. Heavenly Devil Disintegration. Last time, Audiobook used this move to escape. It was also because of this move that his 4 limbs were left behind. When Lu Lan saw Aegea Demon God's move, she immediately warned Wang Xian loudly. At this moment, Wang Xian saw the body of Aya Heavenly Devil God divided into 20 to 30 body parts. A head, 4 limbs, eyes after eyes, and 2 wings. There were also his chest and some bones. He quickly fled in all directions and into the distance. Seeing this, Wang Xian's eyes narrowed. With a wave of his arm, the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon coil flew out and attacked the pupils. At the same time, Wang Xian shook his body and split into 9, attacking the limbs one by one. The Star Domain Fragment and the Book of Water Forbidden Spells also swept towards the body parts of Aegea Demon God. Each of the 28 body parts contained a terrifying amount of energy. They fled madly in all directions. Lu Lan and Heavenless immediately intercepted them. They also had powerful means of intercepting them. Stay here. The limbs were enveloped by Wang Xian and the rest with their energy. At this moment, the head of Aegea Demon God flew towards the back, towards the experts from the Sacred Grounds and Sacred Institute. Since you guys want to kill me, I'll make the Sword and Magic Universe pay a terrible price. I'll make all the experts from the Sword and Magic Universe die with me. The head of Aegea Demon God roared with a frenzied expression. The eyes on his head had disappeared and he looked exceptionally horrifying. However, the energy contained in them was horrifying. Don't even think about killing the disciples of the Sword and Magic Universe. Lu Lan's eyes were extremely cold. He waved the magic staff in his hand and the water condensed into a giant hand that grabbed at his head. Arg! In the next instant, the giant hand grabbed the head of Aegea Demon God. His head let out a blood-curdling screech. However, the moment he was grabbed, he suddenly opened his mouth and spat something out. It was an eye. In the eye there was a crazed face. This face broke through the shackles of the eye and turned into the horrifying face of a demon god. The face of the demon god expanded crazily and continued to attack the experts and disciples. Oh no! Lu Lan's expression changed slightly when she saw this. Oh no, that demon god is targeting us. Run run. Oh no, the demon god wants to kill us. We're no match for him. Run run. Hide. Quickly hide. This face isn't something we can withstand. At this moment, all the pinnacle sovereigns from the Sacred Grounds and Sacred Institute were horrified when they saw this face. They immediately attacked the face of the demon god and ordered all the experts and disciples to flee immediately. Die die die. Lu Lan Wuangtian, I've said that even if I die, I'll make your sword and sorcery universe pay a terrible price. Aha die die. Aegea demon god roared crazily. At this moment he no longer wished to escape. But before he died he wanted to kill the experts of the sword and sorcery universe. Once these experts died, the sword and sorcery universe would still suffer a terrible disaster when the cataclysm arrived. Aegea Tian, you're courting death. Up ahead, when Wu Wangtian saw this scene, his expression changed drastically as he roared madly. Big brother Wang Xian, run. Long Yining and Long Yinhao paled when they saw Aegea demon god's attack. Facing a demon god created by Tian Yuan, they knew the horror of this level. Even a mere face was enough to make them feel fear and despair. They screamed in panic at Wang Xian's void divine dragon body. Don't worry. Wang Xian smiled faintly when he saw them. Netherworld dragon transformation. With a move of his mind, Wang Xian's real body merged with the void divine dragon body. If the 3 of us can still let you do anything when we're ganging up on you, then we'll be trash. Wang Xian looked up at the face of the demon god, shook his head and sneered. Chapter 40-46. Netherworld Dragon Switch. Wang Xian's body instantly switched with his own void divine dragon body. Roar roar roar. Divine Dragon Clan, you deserve to die. Die. Aegea Sky Demon God stared at Wang Xian, his face filled with anger and indignation. He couldn't help but roar. He was filled with indignation. Yes, he was extremely indignant now. Now that he was severely injured, he wanted to kill some experts and living beings from the sword and sorcery universe before he died. Little did he expect to be stopped by Wang Xian at the last moment. Today, if not for Wang Xian, he wouldn't have died. He wouldn't have died. It wasn't easy for him to be reincarnated into a second life, and he finally broke through to the creation realm of Sky Yuan. This time, once he died, it would be an eternal death. Roar roar. He roared indignantly, but there was nothing he could do. Bam. Wang Xian looked at the indignant Aegea Sky Demon God with a cold expression. He waved his arm and turned it into a dragon claw, striking at the face of Aegea Sky Demon God. The dragon claw tore through Aegea Sky Demon God's final attack. Kill him once and for all. Wu Wangtian roared as he slashed at Aegea Sky Demon God's body with his giant axe. Horrifying golden radiance shrouded him, causing his energy to dissipate completely. Wang Xian also moved and attacked the bodies of Aya Heavenly Demon God one by one. Phew, that Lord Wang Xian has the ability to teleport. He has teleported back to his other body. That's impressive. He teleported back to his own body from such a long distance. Luckily Lord Wang Xian is here. This time Long Yining has really soared to the sky. This Lord Wang Xian is a terrifying existence comparable to the creation of Heavenly Yuan. Although he is not an expert of our universe, he can come to our universe and possess such terrifying strength. Even if the cataclysm comes, no expert would dare to provoke him. Yeah, Long Yining has really soared this time. Why don't I have such good luck? In the surroundings, the terrified experts and disciples of the Sacred Academy and Forbidden Lands heaved a sigh of relief when they saw that the crisis had been resolved. They looked at Wang Xian's figure and then at Long Yining. Their faces were filled with envy. To be able to be together with this existence, it was really soaring to the heavens. Who would dare to provoke him in the future? He had truly soared to the sky. At this moment, Long Yining still had a shocked expression on his face. She couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe that Wang Xian was such a terrifying expert. Now, they were working together with two legendary figures of the sword and magic universe to kill a divine origin creation realm expert. This made her feel a little dazed. Die. Up ahead, Wu Wangtian and Lu Lan's furious roars rang out. The life force of every part of Aga Heavenly Demon God's body was getting weaker and weaker. One by one, the vitality of their bodies quickly dissipated. Wang Xian quickly kept the body parts of the Aya Heavenly Demon God one by one. Even his blood was not spared. The body of a divine origin creation realm expert, even a drop of blood, contained terrifying energy. Seeing this, Qilin Bull's face was filled with excitement. Next, if he could devour all of Aga Heavenly Demon God's body parts, the possibility of him breaking through would be very high. It could even be said that it wouldn't be long before he could break through to the divine origin creation realm. Reaching this realm was the true transcendence. One would truly have an endless lifespan. Eternal life. Complete eternal life. Even if the cataclysm came, as long as one wanted to survive, it would be very easy. Moreover, at this level it was too difficult to die. Take Aga Heavenly Demon God for example. His complete annihilation this time was a complete accident. It was all due to his own arrogance. Moreover, he had died once. Aga Heavenly Demon God's original body was already dead. He left behind a chess piece that allowed him to live a second life in the sword and magic universe. As long as the divine origin creation realm experts were careful and made more arrangements, it would be too difficult to completely annihilate him. He was about to step into the divine origin creation realm. In the sky ahead, the battle between Wang Xian and the rest was gradually coming to an end. As the vitality of Aga Heavenly Demon God's body was extinguished one by one, the resistance that his remaining body could exert was getting weaker and weaker. When Wang Xian grabbed an eye in his hand. Beside him, Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian had also completely annihilated the rest of Aga Heavenly Demon God's body parts. At this moment, a divine origin creation realm existence was completely annihilated. I can't sense any vitality or aura from Aga Heavenly Demon God anymore. He has been completely annihilated by us. Lu Lan sensed the surroundings and exclaimed excitedly. Annihilated? Ah! He's finally annihilated. The countless dead souls from the previous cataclysm of the sword and magic universe can finally rest in peace. Wu Wangtian couldn't help but laugh hysterically. He was extremely emotional. He had experienced that dark and turbulent time. Aga Heavenly Demon God had brought too much darkness to their universe. Now he had avenged his revenge. Thank you, Dragon King, for your help. Wuentian looked at Wang Xian, cupped his fists and thanked him. Thank you, Dragon King, for your help. Lulan said gratefully. You're welcome. It's just a deal. Wang Xian smiled at them. He swept his gaze across the body parts of Aga Heavenly Demon God and kept them one by one with a wave of his arm. Lulan and Wuentian didn't touch the body parts of Aga Heavenly Demon God. After all, they had a small conflict with Wang Xian just now. The reason why Wang Xian was willing to help them was because of the corpse of Aga Heavenly Demon God. In order to prevent Wang Xian from having any opinions about them, they didn't take any of Aga Heavenly Demon God's body parts or blood. After retrieving a complete Aga Sky Demon God's body, his face lit up with excitement. Qilin Bull, come here. He called out softly and his voice was transmitted to Qilin Bull. Boss, I'm here. I'm here. Qilin Bull flew over excitedly and knelt in the void. Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. He knelt before Wang Xian and shouted incoherently. How long will it take for you to break through? Wang Xian waved his arm and the body of Aga Heavenly Demon God flew to him. He asked Qilin Bull with a smile. Boss, it'll take about 100 million years. 100 million years should be enough. Qilin Bull took over the body of Aga Heavenly Demon God and answered loudly with passionate eyes. Boss, even if I break through to the creation realm of Heavenly Yuan in the future, I'll still follow your lead. Anyone who wants to hurt you will have to step over my dead body. Thank you, boss, for bringing me to the creation realm of Heavenly Yuan. I'll repay your kindness with my life. Qilin Bull promised gratefully. Chapter 40-47. Qilin Bull knelt in front of Wang Xian, his face full of gratitude and excitement. However, Lulan and Wu Wangtian were startled when they heard the Qilin Bull's words. Their eyes fell on Qilin Bull. After a slight sensing, their eyes narrowed. They could sense the aura of Aya Sky Demon God from Qilin Bull. But the Qilin Bull before them was obviously not Aya Sky Demon God. He should be a devil beast born from the fall of the Aga Heavenly Archdevil's limbs in the 9th layer of the Devil Beast Abyss. His strength is not weak and he is far stronger than a peak Sovereign Realm expert. Now that the Aga Heavenly Archdevil is dead, the obstacle to his breakthrough is gone. Now that he can devour Aya Sky Demon God's corpse, the possibility of his breakthrough is almost 100%. After 100 million years he should be able to break through completely. Wu Wangtian sized up Qilin Bull and transmitted his voice to Lulan. After Lulan heard this, her face also showed a shocked expression. Doesn't that mean he will have a Heavenly Yuan creation realm subordinate? Lulan replied, a little surprised. Their entire sword and magic universe had only produced 2 Heavenly Yuan creation realm experts. And this Dragon King before them had a Heavenly Yuan creation realm subordinate. In addition to his own strength, he was already comparable to their sword and magic universe. The 9-source universe is a relatively strong universe, much stronger than our sword and magic universe. Wu Wangtian continued to transmit his voice to Lulan. Lulan nodded. At this time he suddenly had a thought. His eyes swept across Long Yining and Long Yinhao and his eyes flickered. Dragon King, I hope you can forgive me for my previous offense. Lulan looked at Wang Xian and said directly. Senior Lulan, I can understand your actions. Upon hearing Lulan's words, Wang Xian smiled and replied. Since the Heavenly Yuan creation realm of the sword and magic universe had taken the initiative to apologize, Wang Xian would not continue to offend them. Moreover, Lulan's actions just now were normal. Was he trying to protect his own? Wang Xian was protective too. Long Yinhao and the current saintess of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area were together. Long Yining and the Dragon Roaring Forbidden Area were disciples of the sword and magic universe. He did not want to fall out with Lulan and Wu Wangtian. Now that the other party had taken the initiative to apologize, this was already the best situation. The Dragon King helped us kill Ajatian this time. This is a great favor to us. If the Dragon King needs anything in the future, just let us know. If we can do it, we won't refuse. Wu Wangtian replied courteously to Wang Xian. Disregarding Wang Xian's strength and the fact that he would have a Heavenly Yuan creation realm subordinate in the future, just the fact that he had helped them eliminate Agia Heaven just now was enough for Wu Wangtian to thank him properly. Ha ha ha. You're too kind. I accidentally came to your universe of swords and magic to gain experience. Now that I've gained something, it can be said that I have fate with your universe of swords and magic. Wang Xian replied politely. Haha, in that case, Dragon King, Let's have a taste of the delicacies unique to our sword and magic universe. Ah. Wu Wangtian invited with a smile. Wang Xian did not reject it. Instead he smiled and nodded his head. Lu Lan nodded with a smile. She moved and instantly appeared in front of the experts and disciples of the Sacred Grounds and Sacred Institute. My lord. The group of experts and disciples quickly bowed respectfully. Lu Lan nodded her head. Her gaze fell on Long Yining and Long Yinhao. With a wave of her palm, the magic staff appeared in her hand. A seed appeared above the lotus flower. Along with this stream of water, the seed entered Long Yinhao's body. Resurrection from the dead will cause some damage to your foundation. This watermoon seed can restore your foundation and improve it again. In addition, I will use water energy to cleanse your body, allowing you to recover to your previous realm in a short period of time. It won't be a problem for you to break through to the pinnacle sovereign realm in the future. This time the flowing water forbidden area is in the wrong. As Lu Lan spoke to Long Yinhao, a stream of energy surged into his body. At the same time his realm continued to rise. In a short period of time, he had recovered to the fifth order venerable realm. A heavenly Yuan creation realm expert personally made a move. It was still very terrifying. Not to mention she even gave him a powerful treasure to restore his body. Thank you, my lord. Thank you, my lord. Long Yinhao hurriedly bowed with gratitude. There's no need. You're a disciple of the Roaring Dragon Forbidden Area, right? Your Roaring Dragon Forbidden Area is also a water attribute force. You can ask the seniors in your family if they're willing to join the Flowing Water Forbidden Area. With your strength, you can also become a pillar of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area in the future. Lu Lan smiled as she spoke. With another wave of her arm, a water attribute magic staff appeared in front of her. With another wave of her arm, the magic staff landed in front of Long Yining. I have an extra magic staff with me. It's quite powerful. I'll give it to little Yin, she said to Long Yining. Long Yining stared blankly at the magic staff in front of him. His body quivered. Thank you, my lord. Thank you, my lord. Long Yining hurriedly expressed his gratitude. There's no need. Lu Lan smiled with satisfaction. Her gaze swept around. There are no more magical beasts in the magical beast abyss. Go back. Yes, my lord. All the experts from the Sacred Grounds and the Sacred Institute immediately responded loudly. Their gazes swept over Long Yining and Long Yinhao, their faces filled with envy. Needless to say, Long Yining and Long Yinhao would definitely become peak sovereign realm existences in the future. Not to mention the Dragon King from the other cosmos. Based on their Lord Sky Origin Fortune's intentions, it was obvious that he wanted to raise Long Yining and Long Yinhao to the peak sovereign realm. Although their Lord Sky Origin Fortune hadn't made a move, it was obvious that he would make some moves later on. The main thing was that the Dragon King's strength was too terrifying. Moreover, they had heard the conversation between the Qilin Bull just now. After this Qilin Bull devoured the corpse of the Aga Sky Demon God. After 100 million years, it would advance to the Sky Origin Fortune realm. This Dragon King would have a subordinate at the Sky Origin Fortune realm. With such a terrifying existence, the two lords of their cosmos naturally had to be on good terms. This would be of great benefit to the future cataclysm. And Long Yining and Long Yinhao's relationship with this Dragon King would allow them to walk unhindered in the entire sword and magic cosmos in the future. At the side, Holy Maiden Lu Yu's eyes widened when she saw this scene. Her face was filled with excitement. Long Yinhao's current background had been raised to a level even more terrifying than hers. Seeing her own man receive such a transformation, she was naturally very happy. Behind her, Wang Xian saw this scene and revealed a smile. Chapter 40-48. Everything that happened next was simple. After Aya Sky Demon God was killed, the crisis of the sword and magic universe was completely resolved. After witnessing Wang Xian's strength, Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian invited Wang Xian to their territories. Wang Xian did not reject it. Soon after, the thoughtful Forbidden Land and the Flowing Water Forbidden Land held a grand celebration party in the universe. They were celebrating the destruction of the Aya Heavenly Demon God. To celebrate that they had been avenged. After they left, everyone in the sword and magic universe learned that their universe's exalted heaven origin good fortune had joined forces with the Nine Essences universe's Dragon Palace's Dragon King to kill a heaven origin good fortune. They were enemies who had invaded their universe during the last Aeon. When this news came out, it caused a great commotion. Our two heaven origin fortune masters actually managed to kill a heaven origin fortune master? A terrifying demon god, and he was working together with a lord from another universe? Who is that lord? He actually destroyed a heavenly origin fortune. Isn't that too terrifying? I heard that the lord from that universe is the saint of Roaring Dragon Forbidden Land, Wang Xian. His original body is a super expert from another universe. This is just a clone of him. No way. That dark horse Saint Wang Xian? That Saint Wang Xian's breakthrough speed is extremely terrifying. So he's actually the doppelganger of a creation realm expert? You guys don't know. That Lord Wang Xian transformed into a horrifying divine dragon that was millions of kilometers long. It was comparable to some of the magic kingdoms in our universe. With a wave of his hand he could turn the world upside down. That battle was too terrifying. Even pinnacle sovereign realm experts were insignificant in that battle. They couldn't even get close to him. This time, the two of us have eliminated the most powerful enemy of our sword and magic universe. In the future, when the cataclysm of our sword and magic universe arrives, we will have one less powerful enemy. This is a fortunate thing for our sword and magic universe. If Lord Wang Xian hadn't intervened this time, according to the experts from the Obscene Forbidden Land and the Flowing Water Forbidden Land, at least 30% of the living creatures in our sword and sorcery universe would have died in the hands of that demon god. It's all thanks to Lord Wang Xian's help this time. Within the sword and magic cosmos, countless experts and disciples were discussing. The battle between the Heaven's prime creation level demon god was transmitted to every corner of the sword and magic universe. And the legend of Wang Xian had spread to every corner of the world. During this celebration, the entire Forbidden Land of the Dragon Roar Forbidden Land joined the Flowing Water Forbidden Land. This was a huge opportunity for the Dragon Roar Forbidden Land. The patriarch of the Dragon Roar Forbidden Land, the founder, was also very excited. Although the forbidden area he created had been disbanded. However, after they joined the Flowing Water Forbidden Land, they had access to even more resources. Long Yinhao would naturally become a top expert of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land in the future after being nurtured by the Blue Stream Heaven's origin expert. Breaking through to the peak of the Sovereign Realm was 100% certainty. As for Long Yinyin, there was even less to say. It could be said that with Wang Xian's background, Long Yinhao had a high chance of becoming the master of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land in the future. Because Lu Lan was more concerned about the safety of the entire sword and magic universe. His attention was focused on all living beings in the sword and magic universe. The Flowing Water Forbidden Land was merely a force she had casually established to cultivate experts. If she could get the help of two Heaven's origin creation experts because of Long Yinhao and Long Yinin, why not? Therefore, Lu Lan didn't hide anything during the celebration, directly giving Long Yinhao and Lu Yu many treasures and rights. As for Long Yinin, she didn't need to say anything. The experts and disciples of the entire sword and magic universe knew what to do. Even the experts and disciples of the thoughtful Forbidden Land and other sacred grounds, as well as the Sacred Institute, sent many precious gifts during this celebration. All kinds of Khanate cardinal treasures and all kinds of huge resources were innumerable. Seeing Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian's goodwill, Wang Xian didn't argue too much with them. He directly gave the space bottle of the Forbidden Land to Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian. The experts of the Forbidden Land were still very important to the sword and magic universe. He wasn't a person who didn't care about their feelings. As long as he didn't die in the future, Long Yinhao and Long Yinin wouldn't have any problems. Lu Lan and the rest wouldn't let anything happen to Long Yinhao and Long Yinin either. In fact, after the experts of the Forbidden Land were released, they were extremely grateful to Wang Xian after surviving the calamity. After all, the experts and disciples of the Forbidden Land had offended a Heaven's origin creation level existence. It was already kind of him not to destroy them all. An existence at the level of Heaven's origin creation level wasn't something they could bear a grudge against. Therefore, the Forbidden Land didn't blame Wang Xian at all. Instead, they blamed the bunch of reckless fools who provoked Wang Xian. After learning that Wang Xian had a space attribute clone, they sent a large number of space attribute treasures to ask for forgiveness. And these resources were enough to upgrade Wang Xian's void divine dragon body to the pinnacle of the universe lord level. As for breaking through to the Heaven's origin creation level, that would depend on fate. Time passed day by day. Wang Xian and Long Yinin toured the sword and magic universe. They cultivated and played at the same time. Occasionally they would return to the Dragon Palace in the Nine Source universe. Hundreds of millions of years passed quickly. On this day in the sky above the Flowing Water Forbidden Land, an extremely majestic aura shot up into the sky. Terrifying energy pillars shot up into the sky. There were dozens of energy pillars, and each of them emitted an incomparably violent energy. Terrifying and vast. It was as though heaven and earth were being split apart. Boss, I broke through. I broke through. Following that, an extremely excited voice was heard, spreading far and wide. The old lair of the flowing water Forbidden Land wasn't very far from the Imperial Forbidden Land and Tianyuan City. However, the area of the old lair of the flowing water Forbidden Land was still very large. But this aura, this voice, spread to Tianyuan City and the Imperial Forbidden Land. The terrifying energy pillars could be seen from extremely far away. Everyone's faces were filled with shock. That Qilin Bull broke through. When this aura shot up into the sky, Lulan, Wu Wang, and the rest immediately sensed it and flew over. Their faces were filled with shock. The Dragon King's mount had broken through. The Dragon King had another Heaven's Origin creation level existence. Chapter 40-49. Huh? Qilin Bull has broken through. At the same time, somewhere in the flowing water forbidden area, Wang Xian, Long Yinhao, Luyu Saintis, and the rest were in a corner of the flowing water forbidden area. Wang Xian saw the terrifying aura coming from the right. Hearing the voice of Qilin Bull, he smiled. He had already informed Wang Xian in advance when Qilin Bull was about to break through. Wang Xian had not left this place recently and had been waiting here. Brother Qilin Bull has broken through? Long Yinhao asked excitedly as his eyes lit up when he saw the vast aura. Qilin Bull was his brother-in-law's mount. The breakthrough of Qilin Bull would greatly enhance Wang Xian's strength. The stronger Wang Xian was, the more powerful his backer would be. Currently, in the sword and sorcery universe, which saint and saintess were not polite to him? Not to mention the saint and saintess, even pinnacle sovereigns were polite to him. After all, he was now the strongest rich second generation in the sword and sorcery universe. Let's go. Wang Xian smiled and nodded. With a wave of his arm, he led them to where Qilin Bull was. The Dragon King's mount has broken through to the creation realm of Sky Yuan. Wow, this is really shocking. The Dragon King's mount has reached such a terrifying level. I never thought I would be able to witness a creation realm breakthrough in my lifetime. This is really shocking. This aura is too terrifying. Let's go. The Dragon King and Long Yinin of the flowing water forbidden area are lovers. They are very close to us. Let's go and congratulate them. All the experts and disciples of the flowing water forbidden area rushed over immediately with awe and respect on their faces. Creation realm of Sky Yuan. There were only two existences of this level in the entire universe. And they were both born in the last cataclysm. After the cataclysm, there was no third creation realm expert in the entire universe. It was easy to imagine how difficult it was to give birth to an existence of heaven's origin. When Wang Xian flew over, Lulan had also arrived. Wu Wangtian was also rushing over to this side. In the center, Qilin Bull was suspended there. The center of all energy. At this moment, the scales all over his body showed divine ash. There were symbols on them. A pair of wings appeared on his original body. This pair of wings was similar to the wings of the Aga Sky Demon God. It looked very domineering. A double pupil appeared in the Qilin Bull's eye. There seemed to be countless pupils in his eyes. They were deep and terrifying. Congratulations on your breakthrough. Shui Lan looked at the Qilin Bull with a smile. Thank you. Qilin Bull nodded his head happily. He looked at Wang Xian and immediately flew over excitedly. Boss, I've made a breakthrough. I'll be your mount in the future. Haha, a heavenly Yuan creation realm mount. That'll definitely be awesome. He said with a proud look on his face. Hee good. Wang Xian smiled. The Qilin Bull was a very grateful person. If it wasn't for him this time, it would have been impossible for the Qilin Bull to break through. Congratulations, brother Wang Xian. Congratulations, brother Linyu. Breaking through to the heavenly Yuan fortune realm. From now on, you will have an endless lifespan. At this time, Wu Wangtian flew over, a smile on his face as he congratulated them. Congratulations, Lord Qilin Bull. Congratulations, Lord Qilin Bull. A large number of experts and disciples from the flowing water forbidden land flew over and knelt down respectfully. An expert at the heavenly Yuan creation realm was worthy of their respect. Aha, don't stand on ceremony, everyone. Qilin Bull laughed heartily. He waved his arm and got everyone to stand up. Qilin Bull, since you've made a breakthrough in the sword and magic universe, all the experts and disciples from the sword and magic universe are welcome to attend the lecture. Wang Xian instructed Qilin Bull with a smile. No problem, boss. Qilin Bull nodded his head with a smile. In that case, on behalf of the disciples of the sword and magic universe, we thank you, brother Qilin Bull and brother Wang Xian. Wu Wangtian cupped his hands at Wang Xian and Qilin Bull and expressed his gratitude. The Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm lecture was a great blessing for the experts and disciples of the Sword and Magic universe. It was extremely difficult to break through to the Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm. Wu Wangtian was a Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm expert. However, his understanding of cultivation was completely different from Lu Lan's. In particular, there was only one Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm and it couldn't be replicated. Since there was a Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm for the water attribute, the other attributes wouldn't have the same. Every Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm expert had a different understanding of cultivation and breakthrough. The power of creation that they mastered was different. To a certain extent, Qilin Bull's lecture was useful for Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian. After all, they were experts of the same realm. Cultivation also required mutual verification. Don't stand on ceremony. Qilin Bull is also a living being of the Sword and Magic universe. Wang Xian shook his head. He was lucky to be able to tame Qilin Bull. 1,000 years later, I, Qilin Bull, will be here to lecture for 100,000 years to return to the Sword and Magic universe. All living beings are welcome to attend the lecture. Qilin Bull said loudly. Thank you, Lord Qilin Bull. Thank you, Lord Qilin Bull. In the surrounding area, all the experts and disciples hurriedly responded loudly with excitement on their faces. The Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm lecture for 100,000 years was a great opportunity. Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian, the two Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts, had only lectured 4 times in the past 20 billion years. Every time it was a feast for all living beings. It was all an opportunity. Many experts broke through because of this. A brand new heavenly origin creation god was teaching them the Tao. This was an opportunity for many experts and disciples. Wang Xian smiled at the side. Haha, Dragon King Senior Wu Wangtian, come and have a seat at my place. Have some fine wine. I've brewed quite a lot recently. Lu Lan invited them with a smile. Wang Xian and the others smiled and nodded. In the following time, news of Qilin Bull's breakthrough spread throughout the Sword and Magic universe. News of the lecture also spread throughout the universe. Countless experts and disciples rushed to the scene. Because of the orders from the thoughtful Forbidden Land and the flowing water Forbidden Land, the two Heavenly Yuan Creation Realms emphasized once again. Now no forces dared to speak out about the slaughter. Hence, this became a grand event in the Sword and Magic universe. It was a thriving and prosperous city. When the Qilin Bull preached the Tao, countless living beings came. Wang Xian watched from the side. He was prepared to return to the Nine Origins universe after the lecture. He would bring Qilin Bull with him to the Starry universe. Whether it was to look for resources or other things, it was time for Wang Xian to go back and take a look. When the time came, he would let the Void Divine Dragon body continue to cultivate here. Chapter 40-50. 100,000 years passed quickly. Wang Xian and the rest were listening to Qilin Bull's Tao preaching. This was beneficial to Wang Xian and the rest in their cultivation. For those with lower levels, it was even more of an enlightening experience. Some who were below the supremacy level even broke through on the spot while listening to Qilin Bull's Tao preaching. For those who were lucky and had sufficient resources, one preaching session could raise their cultivation by 2 to 3 levels. After all, Qilin Bull preached for 100,000 years. 100,000 years was a very, very long time for those of a lower rank. In the past, Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian's Tao preaching did not last that long. Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian were severely injured during the last cultivation cataclysm when they fought with Aya Sky Demonic God. It was especially so when Lu Lan had yet to break through. Wu Wangtian fought with Aya Sky Demonic God alone and was severely injured. Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm cultivators were severely injured and could not recover in a short period of time. They had to sleep for billions of years just to recover from their injuries. Occasionally they would come out during this period. In addition, Qilin Bull's Tao preaching would mobilize the energy of heaven and earth. The surrounding area was filled with energy comparable to some grotto heavens and blessed lands. This allowed many experts and disciples to improve tremendously. Big brother Wang Xian, are you going back? Why don't you bring us along? Long Yinhao asked Wang Xian with a smile 2 years after Qilin Bull's Tao preaching. You guys will be suppressed by the universe when you enter another universe. Moreover, I still have some matters to attend to over there. I'll come back when the cultivation cataclysm begins. Wang Xian answered with a smile. I still have 2 hostile forces to settle in the Nine-Source universe. Big brother, you still have hostile forces in the Nine-Source universe? Long Yinhao asked in astonishment. Yes. Before I broke through, I offended 2 powerful races. Both of them have Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm cultivators. Wang Xian nodded with a smile. Big brother is indeed big brother. You dared to go against 2 Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm cultivators when you didn't have the strength of Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm. Now that you've broken through together with Big Brother Qilin Bull, won't you be able to defeat them easily? Long Yinhao flattered. Hehe, it's not as simple as you make it out to be. However, there's one thing. In terms of safety, there won't be a problem. I'll leave the body of the Void Divine Dragon here and continue to train here. The body of the Void Divine Dragon is equivalent to me. Wang Xian replied with a smile. Then be careful when you go back. Long Yinyin instructed. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Wang Xian nodded his head. In that case, Big Brother Wang Xian, you must come when Yinhao and I have broken through to the Peak Sovereign Realm and are preparing for our wedding. Liu Saintis said with a smile. No problem. Wang Xian nodded his head. Wang Xian chatted with them for a while. Help me inform Lu Lan and Senior Wu Wangtian that I won't be bidding them farewell. In the end, Wang Xian told Saintis Luyue. She was from the Flowing Water Forbidden Land, so it would be better for her to inform them. Although Wang Xian's Void Divine Dragon body was still here. With that, he left with the Qilin Bull. When they reached the 9 Origin Universe, Wang Xian just had to give the Heaven Yuan Jade Horn to the Qilin Bull, and the Qilin Bull would be able to break free from the suppression of the 9 Origin Universe. 111. However, just as Wang Xian brought the Qilin Bull to the 9 Origins Universe, located in the east of the 9 Origins Universe, this place did not belong to the 9 Origins Universe. Instead, it belonged to the chaotic space on the other side of the 9 Origins Universe. In this extremely remote and desolate place, an incomparably huge tree grew in this piece of chaos. The tree was lush and had countless branches. Each branch was hundreds of millions of kilometers long. Every branch was like an incomparably huge mountain range. It could be considered a huge city or territory. This incomparably huge and vast tree supported an entire space. Within this space, there was an incomparably majestic energy. 9 types of attributes, spatial attributes, and other types of energy. All kinds of energy formed a space for other living beings to live in. It was comparable to a powerful grotto heaven paradise. This is really a blessing for our 9 Origins universe. Who would have thought that a tree of chaos would actually come so close to our 9 Origins universe? This is really the fortune of our 9 Origins universe. Beside this huge tree there were a few slightly small figures. However, although these figures looked small, the power contained within them was extremely terrifying. Moreover, only existences like Tian Yuan Fortune could enter the chaotic space. The 8 figures stood there, their eyes flashing with excitement and passion. No one understood the tree of chaos better than them. What it meant for such a tree to appear in the vicinity of a universe. In the boundless chaos, apart from the deathly stillness, there were also many mysterious treasures and items. Among them, the tree of chaos was the largest treasure in the entire chaos. It was a pity that even Tian Yuan Fortune could not control this tree of chaos. The tree of chaos opened up a chaotic space that contained an enormous amount of energy. It was comparable to a powerful grotto heaven paradise. In addition, once the tree of chaos appeared, there was a high chance that all kinds of treasures would appear around it. The tree of chaos was also known as the tree of treasures. The tree of chaos was constantly on the move. Not long after it moved to the 9 Origins universe, they sensed it. With this tree of chaos, we'll be able to double the number of experts in the 9 Origins universe before the cataclysm arrives. At the center of the hall, there was a woman dressed in a green robe that emitted specks of light. She looked incomparably noble. She was the Tian Yuan Fortune of the fairy race in the 9 Origins universe, the Fairy Empress. There were 7 other figures around her. They were all in human form. There was the Phoenix race, the Angel race, the Sage race, the Demon race, the Underworld race, the Black Tortoise race, and the Royal race. Yes, the 8 of them represented all the Tian Yuan Fortune of the 9 Origins universe. Among the 12 peak races, there were 8 Tian Yuan Fortune existences. If the Divine Dragon race was still at its peak, there would be 9. This was a very large number. Moreover, no one would have thought that the weakest of the Royal race would have a Tian Yuan Fortune existence. On the other hand, powerful races like the Skeleton race and the Sorcerer race did not have a Tian Yuan Fortune. However, the Sorcerer race's 12 ancestral sorcerers were enough to resist the Tian Yuan Fortune. When one's cultivation reached the Tian Yuan Fortune, one's strength would increase very slowly. In order to increase one's strength, other than having a large amount of resources, there was another way, which was to step into the primal chaos. One could search for opportunities and treasures in the primal chaos. However, the primal chaos was full of danger. Chapter 4051. The appearance of the Tree of Chaos was a huge opportunity for the 9 Essences universe. It was also a great opportunity for the creation-level experts of the divine origin realm. If they were lucky, they might even obtain some powerful treasures. The eyes of the 8 divine origin creation realm experts glowed. If that's the case, let's send some of the disciples of the 9 essences universe over. An old man with a turtle shell on his back said with a smile. Alright, we still have 1 divine origin creation realm expert in the 9 essences universe. Let's see if there are any experts who can fill it. A middle-aged man in black clothes with a huge writing brush and a scroll on his back nodded and said, "We'll see when the time comes. It's been a long time since I've returned to the 9 essences universe. I wonder if there are any good seedlings. Everyone, call out the disciples you've been training in the secret place. The cataclysm will arrive in 2 billion years. Let's see if we can break into the void universe this time. Humph, in the last 2 cataclysms, they've provoked us time and time again and killed countless of our disciples. This time we'll teach them a lesson." A middle-aged man covered in flames said with a sinister expression. The others nodded, their eyes filled with coldness. "Call the 12 ancestors of sorcery and ask them to set up a long-distance teleportation array. Let's return to the 9 essences universe to take a look." An illusory figure said, flying straight in the direction of the 9 essences universe. Our clan leader has ordered us all to return? In the starry sky universe. In the void, a huge starry sky city was floating. On the starry sky city were experts and disciples of various races. Among the peak and high-level races in the 9 essences universe, except for the Phoenix race and the Angel race, there were also experts and disciples from other races. In the battle in front of the starry sky city, Wuxia had killed 2 peak sovereigns, the Phoenix race and the Angel race. There were no more experts and disciples from the 2 races in the entire starry sky universe. When the experts and disciples of the Dragon Palace encountered the experts and disciples of the 2 races, they would hunt them down. Now, the Phoenix race and the Angel race had completely given up on the Starry Sky universe. On this day, all the experts and disciples in the Starry Sky City and the Starry Sky Cosmos received an order. The order to return. The other pinnacle races have also given the same order. It seems like all the pinnacle races are going back. Did something happen? I don't know. Something big must have happened. We can go back. After searching the entire starry universe, there aren't many treasures left. We can't step into the infinite starry sky. The treasures and resources in the other places have basically been exhausted. Over the past few 100 million years, we have obtained quite a bit of improvement. The experts and disciples of the peak clans discussed among themselves. He wouldn't lose anything if he went back now. Currently, in the entire starry sky universe, only the infinite starry sky was unexplored. However, that place was not something they could reach. Soon, all of the experts and disciples of the peak races returned to the 9 essences universe. What happened? At the same time, at the location of the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle and the rest received the message and were puzzled. He took out the universe AI and sent a message to the experts of the pinnacle races. Hundreds of millions of years ago, the Dragon Palace was at odds with the Angel clan and the Phoenix clan. However, their relationship with some of the other peak races was not bad. The Dragon Palace was the strongest in the Starry Sky universe. Many of the peak races cooperated with the Dragon Palace, especially the Skeleton clan and the Fairy clan. They had cooperated with the Dragon Palace many times. Very soon, an expert from the Skeleton clan sent a message. It was a Heaven Origin Creation Realm expert who had asked them to return. When the news reached the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle was slightly stunned. A look of astonishment appeared on his face. Heaven Origin Creation Realm expert? Why did they ask all the experts and disciples of the 9 essences universe to return? It just so happens that the Dragon King has returned. The Dragon King's strength is no weaker than a Heaven Origin Creation Realm expert. Prime Minister Turtle murmured, his eyes flashing. All disciples of the supremacy level and above of the 9 essences universe are to come to the Saint Text field. All living beings in the vicinity of the Heaven Creation Wilderness continent are to enter the Heaven Creation Wilderness continent. From now on, killing between experts of any race is forbidden. Violators will be executed. A month later, a message spread throughout the entire 9 essences universe. The message came from the Sage bloodline. It wasn't released by the experts of the Sage bloodline, but by the Heaven Fusion Sage himself. The message was released on the Universe AI and spread to every corner of the 9 essences universe. As soon as the news came out, it caused a huge sensation. The Heaven Fusion Sage, the founder of the Sage bloodline, was one of the most powerful beings in the 9 essences universe. He was a legendary existence. It was a supreme existence at the heavenly primordial creation level. Not a single race or expert would dare to ignore this news. All the experts of the peak races rushed to the Saint Text field. As for the races in the outer perimeter of the heaven creation wilderness continent, they rushed to the center of the continent excitedly. No one dared to disobey the orders of the heaven fusion sage. No one dared to disobey the orders of the heaven fusion sage. Even the races that were sworn enemies of the heaven fusion sage immediately called a truce, not daring to offend him. Anyone who dared to disobey the orders of such an expert would be seeking death. Furthermore, being able to enter the heaven creation wilderness continent was a huge opportunity for them. Countless disciples of the various races rushed to the heaven creation wilderness continent. Many experts of the universe supremacy level also rushed to the location of the Saint Text field. This included the other peak races. This time, the announcement was extremely important to the entire Nine Essences universe. It concerned the future cataclysm. The strength of the Nine Essences universe in the future. During this period, the various peak races suddenly gained a large number of unfamiliar experts. These experts were all sixth-order universe sovereigns and above. The strength of each peak race seemed to have increased by leaps and bounds. Oh, the mystical dragon race actually killed so many experts of the Phoenix race? The previous mystical dragon race was already destroyed, and now we actually suffered such a huge loss at the hands of the newly risen mystical dragon race? In the void, over 1 million pure-blooded phoenixes flew towards the Saint Text field. In the center, a flame phoenix spoke with a cold gaze. Flame Phoenix, a mutated existence of the Phoenix race. Chapter 4052. Every powerful peak race, every divine origin creation realm powerhouse. They had made many arrangements for their own race in the cataclysm. A long time ago, the Sky Yuan fake creations had brought their talented disciples to the special places they had discovered to be nurtured. The Nine Origins cosmos was not something the sword and magic cosmos could compare to. The Nine Origins cosmos had 8 Sky Yuan fake creations. Compared to the other cosmoses, the number of Sky Yuan fake creations was not small. After all, every cosmos had a limited number of Sky Yuan fake creations. For example, the Nine Origins cosmos had 9 Sky Yuan fake creations in the past. 1 for each element. In other words, there were 9 elements: metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, lightning, light, and dark. In theory, it was possible to produce Sky Yuan fake creations with 2, 3, or 5 elements. However, that was only in theory. At least in the history of the Nine Origins cosmos, there had never been an expert with such an element. The strength of the Nine Origins cosmos also made the Sky Yuan fake creation stronger, and they had more trump cards. A long time ago, there had been a batch of disciples brought away by the Phoenix race's Sky Yuan fake creations to cultivate. There had been over 1,000 phoenixes in that batch. Now that they had returned, they were all at least 8th-order universe sovereigns. They had been nurtured by the Sky Yuan fake creations to prepare for the upcoming Cataclysm War. The Cataclysm War was a terrifying war. Originally, this group of experts would only return in 2 billion years before the Cataclysm erupted. However, due to the appearance of the Chaos Tree, they had been summoned back by the Nine Origins cosmos fake creations. 7th Elder, the current Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, should have inherited the entire mystical dragon race and obtained many opportunities. Most importantly, our experts cannot enter the starry cosmos. However, the Dragon Palace has already hidden itself in the Nine Origins cosmos. We have no idea where it is. If they dare to appear, we can easily annihilate them. One of the phoenixes said to the blazing phoenix in the middle. Although the phoenix who had just spoken was merely the 7th Elder of the Phoenix clan, his current strength was considered top-notch in the entire Phoenix clan. Before he had been brought away by the Phoenix race's Sky Yuan fake creations, he had been the 7th Elder of the Phoenix race. However, in terms of strength, only the few Phoenix kings of the Phoenix clan could rival him. Humph, we were courteous to the Divine Dragon clan in the past. But now, a small dragon palace dares to be so reckless and kill the disciples of our Phoenix clan. They are simply courting death. The 7th Elder said coldly, his eyes filled with murderous intent. 7th Elder, if we encounter the Dragon Palace in the future, we must annihilate them. Some of the phoenixes at the side said. They knew that the 7th Elder was so angry because a descendant of the 7th Elder had died in the Dragon Palace. However, regardless of the 7th Elder's anger, if they encountered the Dragon Palace in the future and found its lair, they would definitely destroy it completely. The group of phoenixes flew quickly. Soon, a huge and quiet place appeared in front of them. The entire area was filled with mountains, rivers, and forests. It was incomparably quiet. All kinds of words were engraved on the stones. Some white cranes were flying inside. It was filled with the aura of books. Sacred Literature Hall. Although the sacred text field was called a field, it was actually incomparably large. It was the holy land of countless cultivators of the sage's bloodline. This place was also the lair of the sage's bloodline. This time, all the disciples of the pinnacle clans and supremacies of the universe had come here. It was also the decision of the Sky Yuan creation realm experts. When they arrived, the rest of the pinnacle clans had also arrived. In addition, there were countless supremacies of the universe disciples. They looked at the surroundings with reverence. Looking at the densely packed experts that had arrived, they were filled with awe. This time, the number of experts and disciples that had gathered here was unprecedentedly terrifying. The entire universe was filled with existences of the supremacies and above. How many would there be? Especially for the pinnacle clans, the number of supremacies of the supremacies had reached millions. The other various high-level clans and even mid-level clans as well as rogue cultivators had reached hundreds of millions. However, the number of hundreds of millions of experts wasn't too much. After all, the living beings in the entire universe were too vast. The group of disciples of the Phoenix race looked at the center and flew straight over. In the center, the experts of the 12 pinnacle clans had already arrived. The Phoenix race's Water Phoenix King, Fire Phoenix King, and Golden Phoenix King were already there. Around them, the leaders of the Angel race, Skeleton race, and Sorcerer race had also arrived. After the experts of the Phoenix race arrived, they looked around and went to their respective positions. The 12 pinnacle clans had gathered. As time passed, more and more disciples of the supremacies and above arrived. A year later, basically all the experts and disciples had arrived. Buzz buzz buzz. At this time, in the sky above the Saint Literature field, figures appeared one after another. Phoenix, Angel, Black Tortoise, Nether race. Each of them had a majestic aura, and the Sky Yuan creation realm experts of the various races had appeared. At this moment, all the disciples' gazes fell on the 8 figures. Greetings, Lord Sky Yuan creation. Greetings, Lord Sky Yuan creation. When all the disciples saw these 8 figures, they hurriedly knelt and paid their respects. Especially the disciples of the high-level and mid-level clans, when they saw these 8 figures, they were incomparably shocked. Ever since they were born, this was the first time they had seen the existence of a Sky Yuan creation realm expert. Experts of this level were existences that they had to look up to. This was the true overlord of their entire universe. They were also extremely shocked by the identity of these 8 figures. From these 8 auras they could also tell which force these 8 figures came from. Many disciples of the high-level clans were still very shocked by the existence of a Sky Yuan creation realm expert from the royal family. Rise. All the disciples of the supremacies and above in our 9-source cosmos are here, right? The Heavenly Union sage, who was wearing a scholar's robe and carrying a brush and a scroll on his back, looked around and asked calmly, "Sage, other than the experts and disciples of the Dragon Palace, all the other experts and disciples are here." An old man from the sage's bloodline immediately replied respectfully, "The Dragon Palace? The Divine Dragon Tribe has risen again?" The Heavenly Union sage asked with a flicker of surprise in his eyes when he heard this name. "Yes, sage. The Dragon Palace is not weak now, but they have some conflicts with the Angel Tribe and the Phoenix Tribe, so they are not here." The old man did not hide anything and continued to report. The group of Divine Origin Creation Realm experts did not know about this. Chapter 4053. As long as it wasn't a war between pinnacle races, Sky Origin Creation Realm experts wouldn't be disturbed under normal circumstances. Although the Dragon Palace, the Phoenix race, and the Angel race were fighting fiercely. In fact, even the Phoenix race and Angel race's Sky Origin Creation Realm experts didn't know about this. This was because their war was carried out in the Starry Sky universe. Moreover, apart from the accidental death of 2 Pinnacle Sovereign Realm experts, there weren't many casualties among the Phoenix race and Angel race's elite experts. Therefore, the Sky Origin Creation Realm experts didn't know about this. Oh, the Divine Dragon race used to be extremely powerful, but for some reason they perished together with the Bug race. Now that they've risen so quickly, they must have a lot of trump cards. Heavenly Unity Saint sighed when he heard this. The Divine Dragon race was born a few eons earlier than the Sage bloodline. Their Sage bloodline had only risen after the last eons. At their peak, the Divine Dragon race was much stronger than the Sage bloodline. Although the Divine Dragon race has perished, Shui Yun must have made arrangements before the Divine Dragon race was annihilated. It's impossible for the Divine Dragon race to be completely wiped out. The newly risen Dragon Palace isn't weak at all. The fairy queen of the fairy race said from the sky. Wang Xian had been to the old nest of the fairy race and she had seen him before. She had acknowledged Wang Xian very much. Moreover, the divine dragon race and the fairy race had been on good terms in the past. Therefore, the relationship between the fairy race and the Dragon Palace wasn't bad. Oh? In just a few 100 million years the Dragon Palace's strength is pretty good? The Emperor of the Phoenix tribe, the heavenly origin creation level Fire Phoenix, asked with a frown. Phoenix Queen, the Dragon Palace isn't weak. Based on our understanding, there should be about 200,000 to 300,000 Universe Dominator level disciples. Although their cultivation levels aren't high, they have great potential. The Fairy Queen cupped her hands and reported. Oh, their strength isn't bad. When the cataclysm comes in the future they'll be a great fighting force. The Black Tortoise Race's Sky Origin Creation Realm expert said. The cataclysm is coming. Let's not have any internal strife in the Nine Origins universe. We should calm down and prepare for the cataclysm. As the Siddhi Empress spoke, she looked at the rest of the Creation Realm experts. Fairy Empress, the Dragon Palace has killed a peak sovereign realm expert of our Phoenix race. He has also killed tens of thousands of purebred phoenixes. Our Phoenix race cannot let this matter go. Below, the Fire Phoenix King of the Phoenix race cupped his hands and replied to the Siddhi Empress. That's right, Siddhi Empress. The pinnacle sovereign realm experts of our angel tribe were also killed by Wang Xian. A large number of our angels were slaughtered by him. Moreover, he chased us out of the starry sky universe, causing us to suffer heavy losses. The angel tribe has to take revenge for this. Please understand, Siddhi Empress. The Light Angel King cupped his hands at the Siddhi Empress. As they spoke, the gazes of the Angel Sovereign and the Phoenix Sovereign fluctuated slightly. There is no hatred that cannot be resolved. The Heaven Fusion Sage looked at them and frowned slightly. We are all living beings of the Nine Essences universe. Our only target is our enemies from other universes. How about this? Let the experts of the Dragon Palace who killed our angel tribe pay the price with their lives. In addition, give them some compensation and this matter will be settled. The Angel Emperor swept his gaze over the disciples of his own race and said. He did not take the hatred between the angel tribe and the Dragon Palace too seriously. Let the Dragon Palace pay the price and this matter would be settled. Let me say there is a very simple solution. Make all the divine dragons of the Dragon Palace your mounts. That's not a bad choice. The Phoenix Emperor's eyes flickered with a cold glint as he spoke. He knew better than anyone the inside story of the demise of the Divine Dragon Tribe. Since someone had obtained the inheritance of the Divine Dragon Tribe, this grudge might be passed on. He would not allow this to happen. However, there were 7 other Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts around, and he could not strike directly. The Divine Dragon Tribe is, after all, a top-notch tribe in our Nine Essences universe. Shui Yun used to fight alongside us. The old man from the Devil Tribe spoke. Obviously, he was refuting the Phoenix Emperor. Shui Yun was, after all, a veteran Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan expert. These veteran Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts had fought together for the sake of the Nine Essences universe during the Cataclysm. Although he had already perished, there was still some camaraderie between them. Some Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts would not agree to turn the divine dragons of the Dragon Palace into mounts. In that case, kill all the disciples of the Dragon Palace who killed the Phoenix Tribe and the Angel Tribe. In addition, when the Cataclysm arrives, the disciples of the Dragon Palace will be the first line of defense. The Phoenix Emperor said directly. Sure, but there will always be a price to pay. The lives of the disciples of the Angel Tribe are also lives. The Angel Emperor nodded in agreement as soon as the Phoenix Emperor finished speaking. Their words made the other 6 Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts frown slightly. However, they did not refute. This was all they could do. After all, the Divine Dragon Tribe's Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts had already perished. The Phoenix Tribe and the Angel Tribe's Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts still existed. They could not afford to offend the Phoenix Tribe and the Angel Tribe for the sake of the Divine Dragon Tribe. It was not worth it, especially when the Cataclysm was about to erupt. At this time, the peace of the Nine Essences universe was even more important. The decision of the 2 Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts. Below them, all the disciples were shocked when they heard what they said. Doesn't this mean that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace will be sentenced to death? Absolutely. The decision of the 2 Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts of the Phoenix Tribe and the Angel Tribe will be a death sentence for the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. The other Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts have already spoken up for the Dragon Palace. However, they cannot afford to offend the Phoenix tribe and the Angel tribe. This time the Dragon King is completely finished. We don't know where the Dragon Palace is hiding. Can they find the Dragon Palace? Perhaps the Dragon Palace is already in the Starry Universe. This time the Dragon King is completely finished. The Angel Clan and the Phoenix Clan both have experts at the creation of Sky Origin stage. It's already a great fortune for the Dragon Palace not to be destroyed by such terrifying existences. All the experts and disciples below heard the decision of the two Creation Realm Heavenly Yuan experts. Their faces were filled with shock when they heard their conversation. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.